This is going to be another what I've termed as false presentation packs folder, and this one is the second folder, and that will run us from 1961 to 2012. So I'll just go through what I've decided to put in the collection here, and there may even be a few surprising ones in here, actually. So I'm not going to move the camera because that didn't really work last time, so I'm just going to sort of hold it as best I can, and see whether that sort of works. So if I hold it sort of like this, ignore the shaking curtains, and hopefully it'll work a bit better. Right, so as usual, I've got my list of things, which I'm actually going to take out, which I should have done anyway earlier. I'm going to take that out so I've got something to reference to, because obviously these don't have covers, and sometimes it's difficult to know what the stamps are supposed to be. So this is the Parliamentary Conference. So you've got the sixpence here and the 1 and 3. Yeah, these are very, very common. In fact, all of these from this point on are pretty common. Elizabeth II stuff is very, very common to find in either excuse me, in either mint condition or brand new, basically. So there's no some are more uncommon than others, but there's no real excuse to not have these as mint condition stamps when they're so freely available and reasonably cheap. So this is what is that? National Productivity Year. Apparently that's what that was. Yeah, some of the designs I think are a bit lazy, but oh well. So you've got all the what's that one? That's something about food, isn't it? That's the Freedom from Hunger stamp set there. Not overly interesting either. I'm not really sure what most of these are supposed to be. I mean, later on when we start to get to the proper pictures and things, yeah. This is the Paris Postal Union Centenary in 1963. So that, and like I say, the reason why I call these false presentation packs is because these weren't in any presentation packs. So obviously pre-1963 there weren't really any presentation packs. By the time we get to 1964, there's plenty of stuff that weren't in presentation packs that perhaps should have been. What have we got next? We've got the National Nature Week stamps. So we've got some flowers and a badger there, some butterflies and things. And then we've got the Lifeboat Conference. So, I mean, that's obviously people in them yellow Mac things on the 1 and 6. Then we've got that is the Lifeboat Conference, yeah. Okay. Yeah, they're not great, but they're not too bad either. Then we've got the Red Cross Conference there, so 3 stamps that pretty much just have red crosses on them. You see what I mean about some of them not being particularly interesting. This is the Commonwealth Cable stamp, which again didn't get a presentation pack. No. These are the island regionals, and they're all what are they, 2.5 pence? Island regionals. So that is well, that's the Isle of Man there, because you can see that strange 3-legged thing. That is Guernsey, is it? I don't know. I really should find out which one's which. But yeah, these are the 2.5 pence red regionals, and these weren't in any presentation packs either. And then we have the 4 pence blues from all the different regions. So we've got actually, which one is that? So that's Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland,
Isle of Man, Jersey and Guernsey. I don't know which way round they are. But yeah, none of these were issued in presentation packs either, which is odd because these were in. There were regional packs starting to appear at this point, but none of these were actually issued as such in those packs. And there's going to be a sort of a bit of a theme running here with this, because there's a lot of regional sets that didn't appear in presentation packs, even though they did have presentation packs of regional sets. For some reason, these stamps were all excluded. So this is the what are they? That's the, is that sixpence? Or no, hang on. That's the 9p, and that's the 1 and 6. So the dark green and the dark blue, and these are the regional versions of them. So again, you've got Northern Ireland there, Wales and Scotland. And again, for these sets here, there's the what is that? The 4p and the 5p. And for all the different regions, so you've got Scotland, Northern Ireland, Wales, Isle of Man, one and t'other of the Channel Islands. And again, there's no. I mean, these are all the same story. They were all issued as regional stamps, but didn't appear in any of the regional stamp sets. So again, you've got this is the 4p red issues, and they are from 1969. So these are all, obviously, these are the Wildings ones, and then you've got the later issues here, and that again, for some reason, these three stamps were never issued in any presentation packs either. So you've got the 4.5p Scotland, the 4.5p Wales, and the 4.5p Northern Ireland. And by this point in time, I'm pretty sure that all the islands had started to have their own separate issues that were separate from the UK post office, or from the mainland post office, whereas these were all issued by Royal Mail. Now you would have, like, this one, if it was issued at this point in time, would be issued by the Isle of Man Postal Service or whatever. So they're no longer technically Royal Mail stamps when you get to this point, because they've got their own. Although they sort of still are. I don't count them unless they're really, really good. So then we get later on, we've got the Queen Mother's 80th birthday, is it? Yes, her 80th birthday. Surprising, actually, this didn't have a presentation pack, because she was quite a well-loved national figure. So I am very surprised that this stamp didn't get a presentation issue. But there you are, I've got it in my folder, so we're quite happy. And then from, when do these go from? These run from 1983 to 1986, the parcel post stamps. And they're basically just the different values of parcel post. They still count as definitives, but they are actual parcel post stamps. What's this one? The London Economic Summit 1984. So yeah, that's a 31p stamp. In fact, that would be more than first class. In fact, it'd be far more than first class. So I don't know what specifically a 31p stamp would be in 1984. But there you go, that is one. This is a 34p stamp, and that is the Parliamentary Conference, I think. Yep, 1986 Parliamentary Conference. Pretty boring again, but none of these got a presentation pack issue, so there you are. Right, now we have some funny ones. This is the first greeting set. The second greeting set, I think, it would be technically the fourth greeting. No, yeah, that is the first greeting set there. That is from 1990. Is it? No. 1989, that set. And yeah, so Greetings started to get presentation packs after this one, but you know, the first set of Greetings stamps didn't have a presentation pack. It just came in a strip of stamps in a stamp book. So that's that there. This is the non-value indicators from different years, spanning from 1989 to 1993. And that basically denotes first and second rather than an actual value on the stamp. Now, this is a Isle of Man issue of the world. This is the World Wide Fund for Nature. This is a charity issue, and as you can see there, it was £2.08 for all the stamps. And if you work out the values of them, it doesn't come anywhere near £2.08. So this is a charity issue. It's also a numbered issue, if you look there. So that's quite nice. Even though it's not technically issued by the Royal Mail, it's still quite nice, isn't it? So now this is the Smiles or Smilers. Are they called Smiles or Smilers? Smiles. So actually, this is the second Greetings set, because that's what people class them as, the Greetings sets, these sort of cartoony ones. And this is the is that the 20p or the first class? These are the 20p variants. And again, these are issued in These were issued in stamp books, and yeah, never got a presentation pack, which I don't understand why, because that would have definitely sold. But the funny thing with these is people don't consider them complete just with the stamps. You have to have this extra border around the outside, because as you can see, there's Stan Laurel's bow tie. You've got is that a jester or a joker or something? You've got where his hat juts out. You've got Teddy's ears on the side. You know, so people wouldn't consider this set as a set complete just with the stamps. You have to have the border as well. This is which ones are these? That's Lucky Symbols. This is another Greetings set. Again, no presentation pack, and came in a stamp book. So yeah, all these ones basically go in together to make up a bigger picture, but that's 10 separate stamps there. And then this is the same as the one I just showed you a minute ago, except this is the first class variant. So they had a 20p variant and a first class variant. So again, not considered complete if you don't have the border. And in fact, I am missing the side borders on my set, so that's not, a collector wouldn't consider that as the set of stamps because it's missing the side borders. But I wasn't going to pay a fortune for it. I got them reasonably cheap. 1994 airmail stamp. So 60p is the denomination on that. And these days AML stamps are issued along with the definitives, but then they weren't, and that's that was a separate stamp that wasn't in a presentation pack. This is a postcard stamp, apparently. Now I don't know what that's about. A greeting card stamp, rather. I don't know what that's about, but this is marked Boots and Royal Mail. So presumably, was it valid whatever the current postage rate for first class items up to 60 gram in the UK. So that's just a first class stamp. And yeah, I suppose if you bought a greetings card, maybe it's because it says here free first class stamp included in the price. So if you bought an expensive greetings card out of Boots, maybe they gave you that along with it. I don't know. I don't know what the story is behind it, but I know it's a variant on the first class stamp at the time. And then this one, which is an unmarked one, which that just says the post office. So that's probably exactly the same idea, only from the post office rather than from Boots, I suppose. And that one's 1995 issue. So what have we got next? We've got the Wildings reprints, only 3 of them, and I can't see offhand what value these are, but these are obviously the Wilding stamps originally were pre-decimal. These are decimal stamps, so these are decimalised stamps there, and they're basically reprints of I don't know why, but that's what they are. Then we've got the European Definitive, which didn't last very long. I don't think they have them anymore, but you can see the little E there. I don't know what value this is, by the way, because I bought it second hand, so I have no clue. I don't know what value it was originally, but that's the European Definitive there, this dark blue definitive with the letter E on it. I don't know if that is as clear as it could be, but there you go. Now we've got the Profile on Print set, which were 3 parcel size stamps, and this one is actually embossed if you feel over it. It's not very pronounced, but it is there, and these are different variations here. Again, I don't know why this was issued, but there it is. Then what have we got? We have got, what's that one? That'll be 19... That's the Penny Black Anniversary, 2000. So, Penny Black Anniversary 2000 there. And although there was a presentation pack issued for the Penny Black Anniversary, this is the first class non-value variant, which is the one that wasn't in the presentation pack. Then I've got a space here, which should be the Millennium Timekeeper stamp exhibition overprint, which is quite difficult to get hold of. I've got the Millennium Timekeeper miniature sheet that comes in the normal presentation pack, but there's a stamp exhibition overprint version, which is quite difficult and quite reasonably expensive to get, which I am missing. This is another Stamp Show souvenir set, and that's from the Stamp Show 2000. I don't know if I've written down where that was, but this is the Artist Palette set is what this is called, and this is just a miniature sheet that didn't have a presentation pack, and it's a Stamp Show souvenir, but these are valid for postage stamps, so that's fine. That is part of a collection. Another one I've got missing here is the Weather miniature sheet, which was issued separately as a presentation pack with separate stamps, but there is a miniature sheet where they all go together to make one big picture, which again I don't have, unfortunately. So then we have the End of the War miniature sheet, which obviously these are just definitive stamps around it, and that is one that was issued in one of the Millennium sets. But this is obviously a miniature sheet with overprints on it and things like that, so that makes it a separate item. And then again, there's a stamp book here, which is the small format Smilers. Now, these were issued as larger stamps. Again, if you see here, these are reissues of what used to be larger stamps, but they were only issued this time as a small format set that you could buy in stamp books. So they do count as a variant. They are different stamps. Then we have the, what are these ones? Christmas, the Madonna stamps. Although there obviously was a Christmas stamp book issued this year, this would be 2007. These stamps weren't in the Christmas issue presentation pack, so yeah, there you go, separate stamps. Then we have the London 2010 Festival of Stamps overprint. This is the what do you call them? I can't remember what I've lost the thing. I've just called it the George V miniature sheet overprint. Now this again was issued separately, but it doesn't have this overprint on it. The 2010 Festival of Stamps. So there was a miniature sheet produced of this separately that you could buy, but this is the overprint version here. Yeah. And there's quite a lot of that actually. So what should be here is the Meishin Definitive miniature sheet overprint from 2010, which again I don't have, quite difficult to get hold of. And again, this is another one that I do have. You can get separately as a separate miniature sheet, but this is the 2010 Festival of Stamps overprint as well, and that's the anniversary of the accession of George V. So then I've got a set that's issued by Guernsey, which is the Royal Birthdays set. Now, I I've put these in here basically because I got them for nothing. So I thought, well, I'm not going to bother selling them on. I'll just put them in a nice set here. So that's the Queen's 85th and Prince Philip's 90th birthday set, and this is issued by Guernsey Post. So then we have the Olympic sets. So this is coming towards the end. So we have all the gold medal winner sets. Now, none of these were issued in presentation packs. They were only issued if Britain won a gold medal in the event. So these are all gold medal. There's 5. That's, I don't know. It does say on it who they are and what event they were running. So you can probably pick up an entire set of Olympic stamps now if you just want one of the stamps unused for about 25-30 quid. So they're not overly expensive because there are quite a few of them. And then we've got more Olympics winners, and then more Olympics winners, and that's basically how it goes on. These are all issued in 2012, all of them for when Britain won a gold medal, and all the way down here, Olympics winners, and there's the last 4 Olympics winners at the top there, and then we move on to the Paralympics, which came afterwards. So there's the first 5 of that set. So yeah. Now, that's pretty much it, and I'm sorry if I sort of sped through that a little bit, but to be perfectly honest, I don't find most of the Elizabeth II issue stamps that interesting. I think, you know, when you start through the sort of the 60s and 70s, I think, you know, a lot of the designs got a bit lazy, if I'm honest with you. But the saving grace of those stamps is they're very easy to get hold of, so therefore they're very easy to collect. So if you're a new collector, it might be something worth starting off with. But like I say, there's plenty of stuff there that didn't make its way into presentation packs. Pretty much all stamps make their way into presentation packs now. Yeah, so the last video I'm going to do of these false packs, oh, excuse me, there's really not that much to show, because obviously the Paralympic stamps, there was a lot of them issued that didn't make it in the presentation packs, but apart from that, pretty much everything does now. So there's going to be less and less as time goes on. There's still some things, but there's far less compared to what there used to be. And even then, you could argue the point that I have perhaps cheated somewhat by adding in some of the island sets, but you know, that's how it goes. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's nothing really to say about that. They're sort of island definitives, regional definitives. It's come. I think we're a long way past, you know, sort of stamps to mark the end of the war, or stamps to mark the Jersey Views set or something like that. Something with a bit of interest behind it, or even the Wembley exhibition stuff. I think if you put something like the 1924 Wembley exhibition stamps and put them next door to National Productivity Year or something like that, then obviously they're both supposed to be they're both supposed to have sort of an air of national pride about them, both of those commemorative sets, but I just think there's not the same gravitas in the stamps for the National Productivity. Do you know what I mean? It's somebody drawn some arrows on a background. It's not, you know, it doesn't grab you like, you know, I don't know. But for me, as time goes on, or certainly as you sort of inch towards the, you know, especially in the 90s as well. I mean, a lot of stamps were a bit dodgy then. So anyway, that's it. That's the false presentation packs folder 2. So that's taken us from 1961 all the way through to 2012. And that was only, well, I suppose it's technically 24 pages, I think. but it's actually 12 pages in a folder, and we've managed to cover all them years. That's quite good, isn't it? So yeah, as usual, questions and comments are always welcome. I am kind of running out of stamp videos to do now. I mean, I've got basically what is going to be in the next folder, and then it'll just be, I suppose, recent pickups and things like that. Because it is just British stamps I collect, so I have to wait until they've released some more before I can then show them to you. Obviously, so while there has been quite a glut of these stamp videos I've done this year, they are going to dwindle, and there are going to be less and less, which is unfortunate because it seems that people really like them. But yeah, so anyway, I suppose perhaps you'll just have to look elsewhere for your stamp, your fill of stamps soonish. But who knows, I might think of something interesting to do. But yeah, anyway, so questions and comments are always welcome. There's a comment section down below. There's a Twitter thing here. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put up some videos that you might like. So there's 2 videos appeared here, and there should be a subscribe button appeared around about here. That if you do like my stuff and you want to watch more of it, you can subscribe to my channel. That way you'll know when new stuff comes out. Anyway, I've been the Pickled Onion Knight, and I will see you in another video.